everyone. This is Brianna Miko.
Hope all is well. I'm Ava Adams.
And I'm Tessa Stevens, and thanks for joining us.
We're here for connecting and supporting people,
Sharing relatable moments,
Always encouraging and always growing. We're
practically.
social work.
Hey, happy Friday, everybody. I hope everybody had a nice and easy week. Mine was way too long and I'm ready for sleep. But here we are. Excited to talk to everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about back to school blues and everything that has to go with the semester stress.
Well, I just got finished accepting my financial aid awards. And they call it an award, but it's a loan. I'm going to have to pay it back. I don't know why they're calling it an award. They're crazy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. I still have loans from my first bachelor's. Do you guys want to guess the number on how much I spent?
50,000.
No, no, it's not that bad.
It's over
27
20.
though.
Yeah, I was going to say it's over
27.
20.
Yeah.
And I graduated in 2015. How stressful was that process, Ava? It's been out of the loop for a minute.
Well, honestly, it's not as stressful as it used to be, honestly. I remember the first time I went to school when I was a child, when I was 18, and filling out all those forms and the Pell Grant and the TS, the TAP, the Pell Grant, all these different things. Now you have like they save your information. So yeah, so it's already there and all I have to do is click and send off my whatever year it is that we're doing FAFSA. And then I get an email from the school and they're like, "Hey, we accepted it." And then you have to go into your financial aid section of your school website and you accept your awards, whatever it is that FAFSA granted you. And depending on your income, it could cover your whole schooling, like mine, including books. So I'm very grateful that my income is so low that I can get a loan right now because it's literally what was keeping me from coming back to school. I couldn't afford to go back. And because my loans are in deferment due to COVID, that's basically what happened. Like COVID was really bittersweet for me. I lost a lot of people, but I was able to get my associate's degree finally. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Financial aid is so weird because even when you are paying out of pocket, you still have to do the whole FAFSA thing. Is it every year? Yeah, it's every year. You still have to go through and do it.
Do
And
they
it's like,
or
yeah, pretty much. Like there was a possibility of me getting like a $500 thing. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like I could get some bucks. And no,
And you
like
didn't
they
get
just,
it?
I mean, it's not the end of the world. I went into school this time around knowing that if I likely wasn't going to get assistance. And then I was just lazy about looking at scholarships and grants because, I also like when I went to school, Gwen was still like an infant and I was just like too tired to like try to finagle anything. I was like, no, I'm just too tired. But I want to see other people do that. I want to see people like go for that. Like there's so many things out there to help you.
Honestly, I would suggest applying even if you think you're not going to get anything,
No,
like,
absolutely. Because the school has to get rid of that money.
yeah.
They have to. And if they don't, it's like one of those, like if you don't use it, you lose it thing. Like I don't know where the money goes, but the only place it can
it
go
seems
is
like
to
they have
students.
scholarships for pretty much everyone,
Is it?
I got a scholarship for my last school for being a single mom. I had to like write an essay and they gave me a scholarship and I've been pretty lucky that my financial aid covers everything. So
Nice.
Awesome.
Scholarships. I was actually all day I've been looking at some scholarships. A lot of them are for high school students, but there are a lot out
there
there
are
for, people returning to
geriatric
college.
students.
That's
No, non-traditional, non-traditional.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So I saw some, scholarships for minorities and scholarships for grad students, and I will say that I'm going to be doing a lot of paper writing, outside of my school assignments. That's going to be a lot.
Yeah. But it's
But it's
so
pretty
worth
fun.
it.
You got to do it.
It's so worth it. It is.
Mm.
I mean, definitely I think next year, now that, I'm not like in that like postpartum like psychosis kind of thing, I think I'll be looking at more like opportunities.
Definitely do it.
Exactly.
I saw a sign at McDonald's before I started this awful diet, uh, that they pay for your college career, like the whole thing. I mean,
Which
if
is
I
it?
had known
Well,
that, I would be flipping
is
burgers.
it college though, or is it select ones? Because it's a lot of places have that advertisement, and then like once you're in, it's like, oh, you have this school, and that's it.
I'm sure that there are exceptions to the rule, but honestly, like at the end of the day, a college degree is better than no college degree, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm.
So in college, in order to succeed, you need books, and books
Yeah.
cost a lot of money.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And you might not even need just word books. Some books are, or some, yeah, some school classes. Oh my goodness. Some need multiple books. So it's like what you have one that's $200, another one is like another 75.
Mm.
Right.
Nuts.
Yeah, I think our favorite professor last semester was the only one who asked us to get 2 books and didn't use any book.
I did not buy books for her class because I typically will wait and like see because a lot of teachers will tell you to get books and then you really don't need them. So I think
Mhm.
I only bought two or it was only 2 or 3 books last month, or I rented them.
I
Mhm.
think that I'm definitely going to look, like, I've always known that. I've always known that sometimes maybe it's me, maybe I'm not doing the reading, but most of the time I don't need that book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also a comfort to have it, like, during exams, and
Yep.
so, I don't know, I struggle and I'm torn between renting again and not renting at all.
That's the other thing that bothers me. And I try my best to like find good previews of the books because sometimes even if I feel like I'm not going to use it for the class, it just has really good material and I'll know that I'll use it for work later on. So it might be one that I do want to buy just because of the material that's actually in it. Like the one we got for generalist practice, that was the optional one. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but that's actually a really good book to have.
No, absolutely, and our professor, I'll call her KC, recommended a book after one of my discussion posts. She emailed me privately and recommended a random textbook from another course. And I looked into it, read a couple of summaries, and my goodness, like I wish that I had taken that course that required it because I would probably purchased it, but I don't know. It's definitely possible.
Yeah. I told myself I was going to put money aside for books this semester. Haven't done it. You know what the other thing that's really stressful about books? They don't let you know until like 3 days before class.
Mhm.
Some give you a very good grace period, and others are like, "Oh crap, class is starting on Sunday. Here's the book."
Tessa, thank you for saying it because it's literally one of my pet peeves. You have all of this time, you know that you're going to teach this course. All you have to do is pick the book. That's all you have to do,
And you probably already told the class. And you probably already have the material. Like, why not just
right? You probably already know the book that you're going to choose.
like,
Just fucking tell us.
yeah, just shoot us an email? And and sometimes you can email them if they are the type of professor that will check their email during break. And sometimes they will tell you. Or you have the kind that is like, nope, I am on break. I'm on break, not touching my email. And you can find out 3 days before class.
Last semester for intro, I purchased the wrong book. I purchased the book that, when you get your class schedule on, your main page and it says get books. I clicked that and it wasn't the book in the syllabus. So I ended up purchasing this book. It came and then I went like with like a week, 2 weeks with the wrong book, thinking I'm looking in the right book. I finally read the syllabus and it's the wrong book. So you have to keep an eye out for that because some teachers are not paying attention.
Now, a lot of teachers actually,
Mm.
I noticed that they use their prior syllabuses and things just don't happen to match up.
Yeah. It's like you couldn't even bother to change the year at the top of the page.
The semester,
Professor?
fall or spring. It's spring of 13. Like, where are we?
Hello?
Oh my goodness. But you have your books and everything out of the way. You kind of have an idea of what's going on, the slightest idea. Then it's time to get organized and
I
try to
know.
get into that new eat,
That's my
sleep,
favorite part.
work.
That's my favorite.
Oh,
The beginning of the semester, everything is like perfect. All my pencils are sharpened
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
height. My books are color coded. My schedule's filled out to the T. I'm making little extra notes I don't even need to. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I get it. I'm the same way.
It's amazing. And
Like,
then something
everything
happens.
has a color.
Then it
Everything
all
has
just goes
colors.
downhill from there. Then by the end of the semester, you don't know where your books are. You don't know, you lost your planner. You're just writing on note paper. You have just tons of notes trying to remember when your assignments are due. Yeah.
By the end of the semester, you're questioning if you want to do another semester.
Yeah. Do I need this degree?
Oh my gosh.
Keep going.
The one thing that I do, though, that I feel like is super successful for me is at the beginning of the semester, I get the erasable color gel pens. That way each class still gets its own color, right? But you're gonna end up with
Sorry,
that
I'm sorry.
syllabus change.
You said erasable color gel pens.
Yes, yes, like Lisa Frank almost. Yes.
What?
Yes.
That's
They're
amazing.
they're a thing. I love them. Anyways, so each class still gets its own color. But when the schedule or the syllabus changes, you can make those alterations. The other thing I do though is I almost throw out my syllabuses. Well, not throw them out, but make them go far away for a while. Because what I'll do, and this is part of the now neurodivergent in me, if I know there's a due date, I'll wait until the last minute. So I make up new due dates that vary between 3 and 10 days, with no rhyme or reason. That way, because my brain only knows do things under pressure. So I make up these new due dates, get rid of the syllabuses. So I think it's due on this date instead.
Wow. That's
That's
great.
fine.
You're literally gaslighting yourself, Tessa.
Yeah.
Does your therapist agree with this?
Yeah, she does. She does. And it's been, I really haven't missed or forgotten anything in a good 7 years now. It's been a very good system for me.
Go,
And when
girl.
things need to be changed, I still have a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay, all right. That maybe you're onto something. All right. So new due dates that are a little bit closer, throw out syllabi. Got it. Check.
I enjoyed also when teachers would tell us, like, oh, we're going to have 10 discussion posts and you only have to do 7 out of 10, right? I just completely drove that from my mind and then did every discussion post. And then at the end of the semester, when I was struggling, I was like, girl, I'm not going to do this last discussion post because I did all the ones I need to. That's what I did. You got to trick yourself.
Yeah.
Bravo, Bree. That is
That's
fucking
mine.
brilliant.
Yeah,
That is fucking brilliant. I will be doing that next semester. Thank you.
you're welcome. It really paid off. There was a couple of discussion posts you guys were all fretting about, and I was like, I don't even have to do it. Done. Crossed off.
Not fretting.
Everybody in the group text was panicking about it, and I was like,
I think I remember it. I think I remember knowing which one that was, but it was okay. I didn't do it either because I had some extra, you know.
Yep. You got some wiggle room.
Oh my gosh. So yes, getting organized can be quite important and quite stressful, quite necessary and quite dreadful.
Mhm. So
I think you
does
just have to
like
figure out what works for you, though. Everybody has to figure out what works for them. If you need a planner, if you need a big calendar, some post-it notes, whatever you need.
Yeah. But the only thing that really like drives a wedge, like once you get it, you get all those syllabi, you're organized, you know, you color coordinating with your gel pens and everything.
try it, just try it.
Oh no, I've been
I'm gonna
treated.
be buying there. I'm going on Amazon when this is done. So
No, right. I can't wait to go school supply shopping and get a new 5 subject notebook. Oh, I'm taking 6 classes.
you need
Oh,
a six
you're gonna have to
book on
go
Amazon.
on the internet and find a custom.
Yeah.
They they have those?
I'm
They
sure they have
gotta.
everything.
I mean,
As soon as we put it recording, I'll look it up. Me and Bree will both be on Amazon. Okay. So once we're all finished with our syllabi and organizing ourselves, what really throws me off is having one class have everything due by Sunday, having another class with everything due by the following Monday, and then having another
Mhm.
class where there are just random due dates for every single thing. It's
Right.
hard to keep up with. It really is. It's
Yeah.
frustrating.
yeah. No, I totally agree. Like for years and years, I was used to like the Sunday to Sunday. So it was outline. Like that was just kind of like the general rule. And not like I don't know if it's because like COVID happened and everything had to go online for a while, and that's what changed things up in the world of online classes. But what was it for one class? We had like random like 3 different due dates for 3 different assignments every week, and then it was like, and there was no rhyme or reason between them. It's like, oh, this week we'll have Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Next week you'll have Tuesday, Wednesday. It was like, what?
Or the one class with a discussion post where your initial post has to be due by Wednesday, but then the 2 responses are due by Friday.
With no indication of it anywhere, anywhere. We're all just like, what do you mean it's late? And she's like, oh, sorry, I didn't clarify. It's like, but that's your job.
Ridiculous.
Sometimes I get in the mindset where I forget professors are also people and they have their own shit going on. But I'm like, I get very
You know,
self centered at that
I
time.
like the professors that share a little bit of their shit with us because
Mhm.
then you feel better. You're
Right,
like,
right,
okay, your kids were sick. Okay, cool. That's why you
right,
were sick.
right. It's like,
Yeah.
if you got a reason, but like, other just like, they're just like,
Most of
Yeah.
them just
oops.
drop off the face of the planet and then we have no idea if they're alive or dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then
You're like emailing other professors, like, did Professor blah, blah, blah get captured? Did the mafia come for? What happened?
we had a meeting scheduled and she didn't show up.
Oh my God. Speaking of stressors, Jesus. Professors that don't show up for meetings repeatedly.
Professors that say one thing and then another thing and then gaslight everyone. And
They try to gaslight a whole class in one sitting.
Because they don't know how to be accountable.
I don't
Which is
understand why it's so
bizarre.
hard for some people to just be like, I messed up. I
Yeah.
said the wrong thing. My bad. My bad, you guys.
Well,
Everybody
That's
can move
it.
on.
That's exactly it, Brie. Like some people just can't do
They
that.
can't. They really can't. Yeah.
They can't. They can't say I'm wrong. I'm sorry. You know, vulnerability. They can't be vulnerable.
it's, and like, I think the reason why it's like so mind boggling to me right now is because of like the field of work that we're in, right? Like, people are accepting of mistakes, right? Like, usually
Absolutely.
people in the field are very compassionate. Like,
Very
the
empathetic.
fact that, yeah, right. And the fact, like, there are professors out there that can't be like, oh, sorry, like, I glitched. Oops. Like, as if we'd be mad. Like, oh, you glitched. Like,
Right.
Well,
Another
hopefully we
super
never have to
stressful.
experience that again.
Yeah,
Mm,
well, let's hope. So the
that's
other
what I
thing
think.
too that brings me into that is group work. We had so much group work this semester, and I had really great experiences with people, that were accountable, that met up when they were supposed to met up and did their portion of the work. And then I had other groups where it was horrible.
Yeah. Were you guys anticipating the amount of group work that there was? Because
No,
it did not
Absolutely
even
not.
cross my
no,
mind, like, not at all. Like, I was not expecting to, like,
No,
form friendships or anything. Like,
I took one group class, like a group projects class, right? In undergrad when I got my associates. And I thought that was gonna be it. Like, oh, we're not gonna be working in groups again until maybe I get a job doing A, B, and C. But good Lord, every single
I
class
think
was
every
riddled
class.
with groups.
And
and,
some
like,
of the groups were 5 and 6 people, which is wild.
right.
Unheard
And,
of.
like, I would expect that, like, in person more, honestly,
Right,
just
when
because
you're
I knew
meeting
you
up in
already
class.
right. But, like, when you're online, a lot of students are online for a good reason, and a lot of times because they are non-traditional students.
Geriatric.
Geriatric students, yeah, absolutely.
But,
And do you know how
it's
hard it
like
is to get a geriatric student to, like, change their
Exactly.
original meet date because
Exactly.
it's hard. 6
Right. We
people.
got dogs
yeah,
and kids and 2 jobs, and we gotta go get our oils
bedtimes.
changed and stuff, like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
I
wild.
mean, I think there's a really large portion of our class right now that do work full time, and a surprising amount of classmates that have kids. Like, I was really expecting to go to school with a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds. I was scared.
Me too. I went to school with, like, 16 and 17-year-olds for my associates, and I struggled to connect with those people because, when they shared their problems, they were 16 and 17-year-old. Like, man, my mom, like, turned off the internet. I don't whatever it was. And I'm over here like, I gotta figure out how to pay my fuel bill this month. But
Like, well, mom turned off
I
my
really
internet too. I don't want that bill.
my mom took my phone away. I couldn't come to class. I don't know, whatever.
Your mom take away my phone too. It has too many
Oh my
applications.
She saved
God.
my But the group project, the hardest thing was you'd have it was always like one person that was the problem, right? It was always one problematic person. And I remember this one girl, and she was like, we all had agreed, let's do a group chat so it's easier to communicate. Great. This one girl was like, I only communicate via email. And I was like, sis, everyone wants to do text messages. I know your iPhone has text messages. I know you're on it all day. Like, this is how we're going to communicate. And then what she would do is she would ghost us all for like a week at a time. And then she would be upset when she missed out on all this stuff. And I was like, it was a struggle.
Oh my God. Fuck that bitch. Listen, we're in school. We have an assignment to do. We're going to do what we need to do to get it done. All right?
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
I only answer the emails.
I am sorry. I
Fuck
only
out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I only answer to telegraphs.
Sorry, you gotta send me a carrier pigeon.
Right.
Anyway,
That's a smoke signal.
yeah, that was
Absolutely
fun.
not.
Yeah. Communication with some people, it's like, why do you have to be so rigid? Like,
I
come
don't
on.
know.
Like,
I ended up when we had to what's it? Not grade everybody. You know our little like self-assessments where we had to assess everybody in our groups?
Yeah.
So I ended up doing it for everybody in my group, and I obviously gave her a bad score. And then I
Mhm.
accidentally posted it, like handed it in so they could all read it. And the one girl texted me and was like, did you know that you posted that with the assignment so everybody could read it? And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And she's like, no. And she's like, thanks for the good score though. And I was like, oh God.
oh, well, she did it to herself.
Yeah. And hopefully I'll never have to deal with those people again. And even if I do, whatever, I don't care.
Bravo, Bree. Bravo.
But you're in the right though, because I did the same thing. I had a group project, and I know that I'm kind of annoying to group projects. I'm usually the person that initiates conversations because I'm like, I need to get this done. Like, I got shit to do.
Right.
But like, there's always that one, like you said, there's that one fucking person. I don't feel bad about like like I would email the professor in the middle of the project, like, try this, try that, try that. They're MIA. I'm just letting you know, I'm not giving them any credit towards this.
Right.
I warned all of my groups this semester that I'm very A-type personality. I warned everybody. I was like, listen, it's just who I am. I like to get shit done.
Mhm.
Most of the time I'm right about things anyway. Like, let's just proceed. Most people took it, the right way. But there was this one girl that Brie and I worked with. And woo, it was rough.
They
She had
both
an
had-
attitude the whole time. Just had an attitude. Just
Yeah,
It's like, for
she
what?
did not want to take any of your suggestions. It was kind of fun though. I felt like I was the mediator in that group.
good. So you were practicing your social work skills.
There you go.
Yes. And I was practicing restraint.
She was. She had a lot of restraint. I was very proud of you.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. There was another group, the group of 6 members for our class that we did not like. And we were in our first meeting, and a girl asked what a midterm was.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wait,
She
if
was
it's the same
homeschooled.
person I'm thinking of, because I accidentally adopted a fresh this year. I don't know if I ever told you guys that.
You
Okay.
adopted what?
A freshman
You did?
on accident. So there was somebody, it was also that class that we don't like so it probably wasn't the same person because they were in a group, but it was the class that we did not like. And they were in a group project with me. And she came to me for everything, like for every single class. And like I had to explain to her, like, what APA format was, this was, what that was. And I was like,
Maybe she was homeschooled.
She might have been.
no, she wasn't. She was just a freshman in a social work class taking junior level classes, but hadn't actually been like in the college field. And she's doing all this online. I'm like, I really recommend that you like sign up for some English courses because like this stuff I can't explain to you over a text message. Like,
They
This
should
is
have
some
a whole
in-depth stuff.
program at our school.
Yeah.
A whole.
and I told her about that too, but like
Yeah.
she came to me for everything. And not that I mind helping, I don't, but it was like she was so lost all the time. And I felt so bad for her because like when I was younger, like, a million years ago, I was there. I'd been there. I was like, what am I doing? This is before I'm like medicated, like in like regular treatment, like everything doesn't make sense, but like everything. She was texting me like 4 times a week about different assignments. Like, what's this? What's this? We got to the end of the semester and she's like, there's a proposal project. And I'm like, okay, well, shit. It's like due in 2 days. I'm like, how do I just narrow this out for you?
Didn't someone in our very own study group had the same realization, remember?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But no, it was the same person. It was somebody outside our like study group.
Yeah.
But I accidentally adopted a freshman, and that was interesting. I was like, shit. I think she
Honestly,
just.
God bless you, Tessa. I mean,
I think
and
she,
who better? Who better?
I think she just got the vibe like this girl's a mom.
I know.
Yeah.
I felt very motherly towards some of the younger students that I was in groups
Yeah.
with. Some of them, the ones that were really trying. I really
Yeah.
did. They would also come to me with questions, and I would help them, and it was cute. But I really enjoy speaking with them. They make me feel young again.
You do.
I like
Connecting
when they
with
talk about.
you.
Yes, I'm like living vicariously through them. I follow them on TikTok. I look at all the TikToks and watch them having a good time, and I'm like, good for you. I'm at home on a Friday night in my pajamas at that time, but good for you.
I'm already up past my bedtime, and some of these kids are like just getting started for the night.
Oh, to be in your 20s again.
The good old days.
Sounds painful. Also thinking about it. How did
I literally, on my 30th birthday, was in a dark closet, curled up, crying and rocking to myself.
Oh
my
God!
Or I was depressed. I did not want to turn 30. And then my best friend scooped me up, put me in his car, and brought me to my aunt's house where my mother had a surprise birthday party waiting for me.
That's good.
So it was uplifting. But you can cut that. That doesn't have to be in the podcast, that little story.
Try to remind
want
me.
to, however, touch on the fact that we talked about homeschooling and everything like that. And I don't want that to be like homeschooling curriculum is just as good, maybe even better in a lot of cases. So I don't want that to be the narrative where,
Oh, absolutely not.
so
Like,
I
actually,
I take it back. My statement.
I think what you're trying to go for is like homeschooled. You were exposed to the normal curriculum, like the ins and outs of things that you're exposed to as
Right.
compared to the majority.
But some are, like there are some, I just learned this recently. That's why I'm talking about it. There are some homeschooling programs that are split, and like that's actually a really popular thing. So they actually go to a physical school like 3 days a week or something like that, or 2 days a week rather, and then they're home the rest of the week. I thought that
good.
was amazing. Yeah.
That seems like well-rounded. I think that's a good idea.
Right?
Kids spend too much time in school. I hate it. I feel
Yeah.
like I do not have the attention span for that. There's a reason why they start
Daughter
acting up.
goes to school. Wait, just wait.
You know who else hates that I'm in school? My partner.
I thought you were gonna say your dog. I thought you were gonna say that.
It's not that they hate that I'm like, getting an education. Obviously, they're very supportive,
Right.
but
Right.
the fact that I spend so much time away from them and like,
Yeah.
and it's like real like time away, like don't bother me, I'm focusing, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that they get a little jealous of my classmates and my study groups sometimes.
They're like, why are you talking to these people again? Come talk to me. I get it.
My friends know. Oh my God. I like the hardest part, I think, for me, in a way, is just like because Andrew and I both work so much. And then it's like on top of it, there's school. And it's like there was so much time during the semester where we saw each other of a max 20 minutes a day. And it was like usually he's going to work and that's about it. Like waking up for him to go to work, like I'd be in bed or I'd be in school when he came home. Like it takes a toll on you. Really does.
Yeah. Takes a toll on your relationships.
Mhm.
How is it with your older child, Bree? Not older, but like older than a baby. You know what I mean?
I think it's a little bit easier only because, well, first of all, she still goes to bed like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So, I try to, if I can schedule things for after that when she's in bed, it's easier. But also, if I have to do things when she's awake, I know how to entertain her. When I'm in class while she's still awake, she has her iPad. She can take the iPad and she can play with that or her toys or whatever. It's not terrible. Like everyone always says to me, because I work two part-time jobs, so 40 hours a week,
Mm.
but my schedule sucks because I work Monday through Friday. I work 9 to 1, Monday through Friday. Every other Thursday, Friday, I work 1 to 9, so it's like 12 hours. And then every other weekend, I work 12-hour shifts as well. So like I only get 4 days off a month,
Mm.
which sucks. But my Monday through Fridays, I have evenings to figure stuff out to get schoolwork done. So like it's not awful. It does suck, but you figure it out really.
That sounds awful,
And
Bree. I'm so sorry.
she's also old enough where I feel like I'm really setting like an example, like when I get good grades, I tell her and then she feels proud of me and then she wants to get good grades. So, I feel like I'm really setting a good example and hopefully she'll follow in my steps and work hard the first go around so she doesn't have to be a geriatric student. She can just get it done with you young.
Drop it. Stop
Right,
it.
right. Go Logan. You do the
Yes.
matching.
Go to college right away, get it done. I just want it to be easier for her. So I'm hoping, if she sees me struggle a little, she'll be like, I want to do the right thing.
I think that's what like every parent wants for their kids. Like just like trust me on this. Don't do it the way I did it. Like
I
it was not
know, I
easy.
know. Yeah.
It's wild. I mean, Gwen isn't even 2 yet, and, like, if I go near my computer, she gets a little weird about it because I was on it so much. Like, she'll
Mhm.
slam it shut on me, like, kids are oh, like, no.
She'll slam it shut on you, Tessa?
The kid
Sheesh. You raising a
she's
wrestler?
she can take you out.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
I am not worried about this girl. She can handle herself well. She only weighs 26 pounds, but you'd think she's like a 300-pound man the way she takes you out. Like, she comes out of nowhere.
Gosh, that's funny.
Uh,
Yes. The
God.
children, they can be strong little devils.
How do you guys deal with illnesses when you're going to school, or do you feel like you've gotten sick more being in school?
Mm,
So,
Of stress. I don't know.
stress.
I had COVID when I was in school, and I still did all my classes and stuff. I thought because I was online, it was a little bit easier, but I don't know.
So I really, I don't know how. I have not yet gotten COVID yet. I don't know if I told you that. There's that. It hasn't met our house. None of us have had it. But
knock on wood.
but I've gotten everything else, right? Because I have an autoimmune disease and I have really bad asthma. So when there's some sort of cold going around, I'm always the first to get it. And it just makes me so tired. Just the tiredness is what gets to me. But
That's what,
honestly,
yeah, the fatigue of it all. Cause you're just like, you can't, you
yeah,
know,
you need the rest. You need to know when to really get the rest before you're too stressed out. Because once you're stressed, your
Mhm.
immune system already starts shutting. It just shuts itself down. It's like, no, no, we can't handle anything. If you guys aren't doing this already, and this has helped me a lot because I don't know if your daughter goes to daycare, but when it goes to sitters, between 3 and 5 days a week, and sitters and daycares have a whole bunch of germs, but new diseases are created there. But I started taking magnesium and zinc, and I have not gotten sick this winter, other than the normal like New York State
Magnesium
congestion.
and zinc.
Yeah,
In what form do you take it? Is it like a pill?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's powders you can put in shakes. There's so many different ways you can take
I've
it,
heard
but
that. I take elderberry whenever I know there's stuff
that's an
going on. I'm not
mhm.
saying that elderberry did this, but I will say December 1st, my daughter had COVID, my grandparents, everybody got COVID. I did not get COVID.
Mm,
And I'm not saying it's because of the elderberry, but I'm not saying that
you
either.
could have been a non-symptomatic carrier.
No, I tested. I
Okay,
tested
okay, good.
quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was in my bed, like snotting everywhere. So I don't know.
And
Oh,
there's
yum.
the weird things that parents put up with. It's so gross, but we're like, oh, poor baby.
I mean, when they're sick, they're sick. What are you gonna do? Sorry,
Yeah,
go sleep in your own bed. No, especially when they have a cough. Like she was coughing really bad, and it
it's
can
so
get
sad.
scary. So it's like when they're with you,
It's
you
so
feel like
sad.
honey, yeah.
It's so
But
sad. Like little kids being sick is so sad, but it's also like, why is that so gross?
I'm gonna say this, and maybe this makes me like a sick person, but I love when she's sick because she is the snuggles are so good. Like
Oh,
so good. Or like when she gets hurt and she hugs me so tight. Oh my god. It's
oh.
the best.
Muncha?
I know what you mean.
No, I don't have Munchausen. I don't ever makes her sick. There's an episode of The Goldbergs, right, where the mom starts intentionally scaring her son because of that particular reason. Like the snuggles are good, man. They're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
The little kid snuggles, like that scares me about my kid growing up. It's like eventually those snuggles are gonna be gone.
yeah,
Well, I don't know if this is the same thing, but when the fireworks were going off, my little puppy was really scared and she was shaking and she kept hiding behind my legs and it was really cute and I loved
right.
it.
See, so
It's the
now
same
you
thing.
can see what I'm saying.
It's the same thing. We still refer to Millie as our
Yeah.
firstborn. She's
I
a
love
pup.
that your dog's name is Millie. That's such an old lady name. I love it.
No, yes. That's exactly what we did. We love old lady names.
Millie. Oh,
We got Millie, we got Guinevere. Love
my
them.
dogs' names are Holiday and Rainy.
Oh,
Yep.
that's cute.
All of our animals are named after 1940s jazz singers. So we have
Oh,
Ella Fitzgerald the
okay.
cat, Billie
Okay.
Holiday, and Ma Rainey.
My goodness, I love that. It's so cute.
I know.
My dad named after a kids show or kids movie, Luca.
Oh, cool.
Speaking
I
of
love that
pets,
movie, Luca.
yes,
The
it's a
Disney
cute
movie.
Yeah,
It
It's
was
so good.
adorable. I loved it.
Yeah.
Getting
But
back on
speaking of
topic,
pets,
though. Oh,
this does relate. Semester stress, pets. Who else? Do your animals just like sit at your feet and just like love on you when you're like those late nights when you're just like writing? It's just like it feels like that emotional support is there. It's like I know you don't know what the fuck is going on, but I feel like I got support now.
they're good for that.
Yeah.
They're definitely good for that. Like my feet are cold. Rainy just happens to know, and she'll sit on them. She just knows.
Cool.
I don't know.
I got that sniffer. They just sniff things out. Oh my goodness.
So back to the sickness thing. I don't really deal with it. I have a very unhealthy work ethic. Very unhealthy. I work until shit is done because I need to get shit done so that I can finally relax. Like that's my mindset. Like just get done so that I can put my shoulders down. So if I'm sick, it doesn't matter. The work doesn't disappear when I'm sick. So it still needs to it still needs to get done. So that's my unhealthy work ethic. I think has something to do with me being a Capricorn. We're just
But
workhorses.
but there needs to be a line where you decide like I need to reach out to my professors. Like I'm not well. I need a rest. And a lot of professors are really understanding. Like if you're using it every week, they're gonna be like, okay. But like if you get sick twice in the semester, like I am unwell and like I need to rest, like they're usually gonna cut you some slack.
I know. I mean, I'm sure they will.
And I mean,
I
it's
just wouldn't. I wouldn't even think to, you know? I
it's
wouldn't even
hard.
think to
It's
ask.
hard. It is hard, but it's definitely one of those things that has to be done sometimes. Like you need to take care of yourselves
Mhm.
because if you're not getting rest, you're not getting sleep, everything else is going to shut down. And man, like things can just get so much worse. And, since we're all geriatric, our organs can start shutting down because of all that stress and bullshit.
Not wrong.
Heart
Yeah.
attacks.
No, you're absolutely right. Self-care is A1. We do our routines every morning where we walk our dogs around the block about a mile. And then we drink kale smoothies and give ourselves pedicures and, things are cool.
Walking is just so good for you. Even if it's just like a short 10-minute walk, it is so good for your health in so many different ways.
Really.
It really is. It's one of those things that are just so good for you, like mental, physical, like
Mm.
even just to like kind of like rewire your brain from it. Like if you're sitting there, and you like can't think of like what you really need to do, like go take a walk. Just like take 10 minutes, go take a walk.
I know you have a treadmill in your office, right, Tessa?
I do.
That's so
I
cool.
do. That's like my biggest thing is walks. Like sometimes I'll use the treadmill and sometimes like if I'm at home, like the setting of my house is like kind of like that, like it's almost like you can walk in one big circle. I'll just start walking laps. Just so that way, like I can like reset my brain and get away from what I'm doing. Like I just, like when your brain kind of just like shoots out, you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Like
Mhm.
nothing makes sense. Like you're rereading the same thing 50 times and it's like not processing. It's like
Yeah.
it's time to get up and walk away and take a few minutes.
I think in those moments I just scream at myself. I do like some self-coaching. Ava, focus. What
I
are you
know.
doing? You're reading the same sentence over and over.
Honestly, just actually screaming. I think screaming is like not at somebody, but like in a healthy way, like taking a pillow, screaming into a pillow. Like I just need to get this like pent up energy out. Cause sometimes it just feels good to like get that scream out. Like it's not necessarily an appropriate setting. Like, I'm not saying like, be sitting at the kitchen table with like your kids and all this and be like, but if you're like by yourself and you're just like, scream, just scream. Wreck-It rooms. That's also another self-care thing that I appreciate very much.
Have you ever been?
Yes.
I,
Oh, yes.
I went to an axe throwing place and they had like a Wreck-It room in the back. And
I
I
wanna
just
try
kept
one.
hearing like a bunch of screaming and a bunch of shattering.
So therapeutic.
I know. I
So
want to.
therapeutic. Love it. Highly recommend.
When
Especially if
we
you have anger
graduate,
issues.
let's
It's like
take
a
it to
place
my
where you can kind of let that out
yeah.
in a healthy way. Like, take my money, let me do this, and I will return to my life peaceful.
I like the little kitty cafes. Have you ever heard of those?
I have. I've
It's
never
like
been
a
to one.
oh, they're awesome. They're like you go into a cafe and there's just like random cats everywhere that you can like pet and like they'll come up to you and lay on your lap. It's another form of therapy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, we have talked about so much tonight. Talked about financial aid. We talked about books, organized syllabuses, crazy professors,
Crazy student.
Group work, right?
crazy group work,
How our relationships,
threats.
right?
Oh my
Relationships
gosh.
and how it affects school.
I wonder what some of the people listening to do. Like, I feel like my scope of like things that are therapeutic is very small. But like, I know some people have like some crazy things, especially like Gen Z is a different level.
Mm,
Like, they are just a different breed of human. I love it though. I really do. Like, I love Gen Z so much.
yes, we would love to hear all of your de-stressors. What do you do to distress, to disconnect?
Get ready for school. What's your schooling ritual if you have one? What do you need like help on? Ask us old geezers for some advice. Geezers. Oh my god, I hate it. Oh my god. All right. I think I need to go to bed, guys. That was a lot of good stuff tonight.
Yeah.
It's good. All right. Well, I think we're gonna head out for the evening. Good night, everybody.
Nice.
Bye.
Before we depart for the day, we want to remind you that if you have topics you would like to hear about or just have general comments, feel free to reach out and submit those.
Or if you have a topic you want to discuss with us here, reach out. You're always welcoming of making new connections.
Our site is linked below, but please check out our TikTok, our Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Talk to you later, everyone, and thanks for listening.
And remember, take care of your future.
Take care of each other.
Take care of yourself.